Pat Show is not affiliated with the New England Patriots nor the NFL. It is what it is. Pat Show! Pat Show! Pat Show! Pat Show! Pat Show! Yeah! Woo! Pat's pals, pigskin people, Foxborough Fanimals, football freaks, and gridiron geeks. Welcome to Pat's Show, episode 2, Revenge of the Sixth. I find your lack of faith in our ability to do a second consecutive good show disturbing.
They doubted us.
They did. How did they doubt us?
Why?
I don't know. Why would they doubt us, man? No days off. Come on. Team 328 was going to be here for you guys. We're super excited to be back, everybody. Welcome to the party. My name is Nick, your old pal Fitzy Stevens, alongside my good man right over here, the minister of @Pat's propaganda, the one and only Mike Dussault, everybody. You can tell how excited he is.
I'm super
right now.
excited.
I mean, if we could just plug into Mike's excitement right now, man, I'm going to tell you. 19-0, already done.
So I got so many Patriots thoughts in my head. I'm just ready to unload them all. You know, it's all building up here. We've had a few days to process the first preseason game. We got a few days before the next preseason game. We're right in the middle. The preseason's almost over. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Wow, you're like the Fuller from Home Alone. Remember the one who just kept drinking all the Cokes and was like super excited? He's just so excited, you guys. He can't help himself. Like, if you're like this now, 2 preseason games in, with 2 to go, with this season coming up, man, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
All right, so we are 2 preseason games in. Like you said, we're sort of like right in the butt between the second preseason game and the third one, the dress rehearsal, the preseason game that's supposed to count the most. So before we head into Pat's Lions and everything else Pat's-tastic, why don't we take a quick little look back at what happened week 2 with Pats at Texans. Now,
They got blown out.
I mean, personally, I'll be honest. Pats Texans, how dare you guys? How dare you go back down to the field you won Super Bowl 51 on and put on that kind of disgraceful performance, losing 27 by 4 points on a Saturday night like that? I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo with a fumble and an interception. Do you not remember what you just did there? I mean, I don't know about you guys. I'm done. I'm out. I'm already on to the Celtics. You know what? My Kyrie Irving jersey is going to arrive tomorrow. I'm all set, Pats. You can take care of yourselves. It meant absolutely nothing.
Yep.
And so many people freaked out about, well, I don't know, I don't think the run defense looked that good. The offense looked a little bit out of sync, you know. Well, somebody better get Ninkovich on the phone because we got defensive end issues. Butler got burned early on that touchdown. Everybody, please pump the football brakes, okay? This is just practice. This is all pretend football. I don't know about anyone else out there. Mike, personally, I saw a lot of Belichick mumbling, silent F-bombs on the sideline. I think Patricia went through like 2 boxes of number 2s, chewing through the pencils, cursing people out. Everybody on the sideline looked, by and large, save for Brady, mostly displeased. And that's what I want to see in the preseason. I'd rather see everyone getting pissed and chewing people out, because if it's all hunky-dory and kumbaya by mid to late August, that doesn't bode well for the kind of season we're looking for.
Yeah, the only thing that really matters to me is, like, did anyone get hurt? Was anyone's ACL blown out? Because that's really, at the end of the day, the preseason, how's it going to affect the regular season? They're playing vanilla schemes. They're just going to kind of go out there, try to isolate guys, see how they do. And I think the only guy who really got hurt was Landon Roberts, who looked in considerable pain. He was carted off. And then, you know, he's right back at practice with a red jersey on, which the guy is like tough as nails. So, you know, headline, did anyone have their season ended in that game? It does not look so. So that's where you start. From there, you know, were there issues? Of course there are issues. You're looking at a preseason game, not a lot of tackling in training camp anymore. So the tackling was sloppy. We saw a lot of those long runs. We saw Butler get burned a couple of times, which, you know, was kind of like, whoa, Malcolm, you're right there. Just jump and grab the ball. It's right there. But
Jalen Strong scores a touchdown on him.
Yeah, you know, he bit a little bit. So, you know, there are certainly things to criticize, and you look at what happened in the game, playing for the coaches to break down and build off of. But, you know, overall, I think we still saw some good things to be excited about with this new team.
Gronk takes the field for 15 basically meaningless snaps. It's his first preseason action in almost 5 years in general overall, because there's no reason to release the Gronk during the preseason, because we know what the Gronk is fully capable of, and we need a healthy Gronk Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the postseason. Nobody's worried about Gronk running a 50-yard seam route and catching a touchdown in the preseason. I don't need the Edelmania. I don't need, Ford model, handsome Dola out there strutting his stuff. I want to see guys, like we talk about, 46 through 53, competing for those extra spots. Who's going to be the surprise defensive end? Who's that extra special teamer? Right now, this is all about Cyrus Jones working his way through all the miserable Burns jokes and roasts that we threw out in week one and proving us wrong.
He heard us.
He did. He actually heard us. Even though he called us a bunch of fair weather fans.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
There's no such thing in New England as fair weather, bro. You may want to get to know the landscape a little bit more. Hey, if you don't like the fair weather, Cyrus, step outside in 5 minutes. It'll change. All right, buddy? Cyrus Jones actually looked pretty. I saw like the first glimpse of the kid who popped in college and had those 5 touchdowns his senior season, who validated and merited that second-round draft pick on that nice little end-around, like run 90 yards for a 25-yard punt return. If I get more of that and less of the whole like, hey, that guy just ran by me. Crap, that's who I was supposed to cover. Then maybe he's actually going to earn that spot, maybe get a little slot in nickel corner, maybe get some safety, and definitely get some punts kicked his way.
Yeah, it depends on how you want to look at it, because he certainly had one very nice run that took it right up the middle. The other one where he ended up running off across the field. That one, if you're a real football nerd, you're like, well, that's really not what the coaches want to see. They don't want to see him busting and running, horizontal and not gaining yards. Yeah. And he also caught those 2 punts inside the 20. So, we all wanted to be like, wow, great job, Cyrus. You caught a punt, you took it back, which is, you want the kid to do well. I mean, he's a high round pick. They need him, but it wasn't all rosy there, but we'll see. He's still got some time. He's got something to build off.
No, I'm totally rooting for him to not like take his warm, pre-prepared seat alongside like Bethel Johnson, Chad Jackson, and all of the other famous like second-round disaster pieces from recent Belichick drafts. I want him to turn the corner. I want him to actually become a valuable member, because the more that Cyrus Jones catches punts, the more time he can actually spend in the backfield. That's the fewer punts that Edelman's going to be fielding in November, the fewer pops he and Amendola are going to be taking. And if for no other reason, just sparing them those big hits so they can get out there, be handsome and crack ankles and, convert a lot of 3rd and 6s. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and Cyrus, how much of a role is he going to play? You saw Justin Coleman have some good plays. He really stood out to me a little bit. I mean, he certainly had a couple plays where it wasn't so great, but I think the thing that I take away from this game, though, that most impressed me, I think, was Rex Burkhead, our new running back. I mean, that guy.
Oh, give me Burkhead till I'm Burke dead.
Yeah.
Oh, God, did he look so good. He's what, the new little Mr. Clean? He's awesome.
Yeah.
This guy's fantastic. Are you kidding? Moves on that guy. He looks like he's running someplace with, he has all the shit. He's shifty, got great lateral movement, but he was running someplace with a purpose. There's only one Le'Veon Bell. There's only that one somebody who can, draft off of all the other cars in the parking lot and then somehow find the perfect parking space that's 2 slots outside of the Stop and Shop, and you're like, damn you, Le'Veon Bell, you did it again. He's the only guy that can do that. But when you see a lot of other people try and do that, it's frustrating. Burkhead runs with a purpose, and in a backfield full of these under 6 foot multi-use sort of hybrid Swiss Army scat backs, he jumped off the field Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to figure out now how we're going to divide up the carries right now, because you've got 4 running backs who are all really good and all have kind of skill sets that somewhat overlap. It's almost a spectrum, really. And it's like, why worry about it right now? If we get to the point in January where all 4 of these guys are healthy and all had great seasons, then we can talk about, well, who are they going to give it to in this game? Who's going to get the, then we'll worry about it. But you've got injury protection, and you've also you're going to be able to run your offense if one of those guys goes down. So, Burkhead, he's kind of the balanced guy. He's got some size. He's got some shiftiness. So he's exciting. He was one of the guys that really popped.
He can do a little bit of what we're expecting Mike Gillislee's going to do, but also he's kind of like triple redundancy with the pass-catching, multi-use purposefulness, whatever. Yeah, one of those P words. Shut up.
All purpose.
Yeah, all-purposeness. That you get out of like Deion Lewis and James White as well.
Yeah.
I think there's just room for him to succeed in this offense. And also, I just noticed when you were saying, come January, and that's what's so awesome and so awful about us Patriots fans is we're already it's August and we're already talking about January. Aren't we the worst? I know, I hate us too. We're the absolute worst.
Well,
but you deal with it. Burkhead, to me, I think what we saw Saturday night, a little bit of, and this is what we're thinking, is that when we saw that touchdown that he scored in the first half, which I think was the real positive of the first half in Brady's time in the field that we're going to break down in just a minute, to me, that's the little sneak peek at what Belichick and McDaniels have in store for 2017. Like, like in 2011, it was the Boston TE party with Gronk and the other guy. Just, like the double tight end offense was unstoppable, and no one had really seen something like that. And now you have an offense where you could legitimately put 4 backs in the backfield, or like put Burkhead behind Brady, split 2 backs out wide. If they get past an intense front 4 or front 7, how the hell do you cover that?
Well, Nick, we're going to break that down in the Electro Breakdown Zone today. I mean, it seems like the perfect time to hop right into our favorite segment.
Oh, is it time?
I think it's time. I mean,
all right.
ready.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right.
Let's break down our highlight of Pat's Texans
Yeah.
and give you a sneak peek of what you're going to see from the 2017 Patriots offense with the Electro Breakdown Zone.
Very exciting, very exciting. So we're going to diagram the Rex Burkhead touchdown, which is a 22-yard touchdown that we have here. And we, again, if you missed episode 1 of Pat's show, high tech.
You suck if you did.
Yeah, well,
right?
you suck if you did.
Yeah,
of course.
where were you? Picker, it didn't happen.
This is where we got it all set up here.
This is our next level technology right here. If you're impressed by holograms, if you think that virtual reality is the future, no. You done heard wrong. It's all about the Electro Breakdown Zone right here, and we're going to analyze and show you exactly what Rex Burkhead showed everybody with his touchdown catch Saturday night. Mike,
now, we're joking around, of course, but we're actually trying to show you what happened here. I mean, this is actually really how the guys are lined up and everything. And so we got a play here. We got Rex Burkhead here, and you have the Texans, all right? And
he looks good.
He does. Yeah, I mean,
he's already
even got number 34.
He's got a lot of intangibles, Mike. He's going to bring a lot to the table.
He doesn't look
this
as
year.
good as this guy.
No, that guy looks great.
Right there. That's Tom Brady right there. But what we got here is you have the Texans in a cover 1 defense. And so you have right here Gronk, all right? Gronk, we know how good he is. We know how good he is up the seam. And really, that's what makes this play. But what we're going to talk about is this is really a preview of what the Patriots offense is going to be able to do. So you've got guys like Brandon Cooks, like Chris Hogan. Chris Hogan led the league in yards per catch last year. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Hogan looks different.
Yeah. He's little tanner than usual.
Right.
We try to make it work the best we can here. But really what happens is these guys, Cooks, Hogan, who's that guy? I don't remember. This is Gronk, but you have Edelman. Too. Edelman looks a little different as well.
That's fine.
But you have all these guys. You're going to have Gronk now. Gronk's a key player, as I said. He's going to run right up, and he's going to take all the attention. Now, you have a cover 1, so all these guys are all manned up across the board, which basically leaves our friend Rex Burkhead lined up with this guy, Zach Cunningham, who's a rookie linebacker. And now Zach Cunningham is going to be left on an island against him, and basically what Burkhead's going to do is run a little angle route. Another key thing here that we want to talk about is that we have 5 Texans rushing. So each of the offensive linemen is going to have 1 guy to block. Everybody's got to hold up. If you go back and watch the play, which I don't think we can't show it here because of the NFL, and how they work. But if you go back and watch it, you'll see all the linemen, it closes in quick, but everybody does a good enough job to allow Brady enough time to just dump the ball off while everybody follows all these guys deep and leaving up just so much open space right in the middle of the field.
So is Burkhead read, is he option 1 on a play like this? So if you got the receivers dragging their guys downfield and Gronk goes over the middle and takes at least maybe a linebacker, a safety, or a corner and a safety, that basically isolates Burkhead against a linebacker.
Sure.
And these super fast lateral scat backs are going to be able to win those matchups 99 times out of 100.
Any of the Patriots backs and even Gillislee can probably run this route. But, I think what Brady's going to look for right off the snap is he's going to check how do these guys win off the line of scrimmage. Because, hey, he's quarterback. He wants to throw that perfect pinpoint pass, bang, right there. But I think once everybody gets a pretty good jam off the line, nobody's open immediately, bang, you're left with Rex Burkhead one-on-one with a rookie linebacker. And I think it's time. We're going to just, we're going to let this run.
Let's show everyone
and again, this has been planned out perfectly, so it should play out exactly, as it did.
Right.
I'm not sure how the pass is going to work.
I'll call Brady's snap count.
All right, ready.
Wolverines, blue 86, set, hut.
There he goes. And,
wow, that's actually so. It looks.
Whoa.
Tom, you're dropping down.
Wrong way.
Brady is so confident in the play. He's so confident in the play. He actually went 30 yards up the field and then just like moonwalked back and then dumped it off to Burkhead, who's like all by himself right here. Look at David Andrews. Thinks this whole thing is so funny. He's literally laying in the field laughing like, Houston, you thought you were going to stop Gillislee.
Not good, but again, we're illustrating here. Brandon Cooks. I mean, I think he was
wide open. These two guys are like, I'm still trying to figure out how I got over here. He's over here to he's like, Coach, I'm not sure if I'm going to make the team, but I just want to let you know, that was a great play design.
It worked out perfectly.
Yeah, look at how bad. Burkhead faked Cunningham out of his shoes so bad. He's up at the 50
Just keep going.
He's watching on the other Jumbotron like, man, he did just leave my jock at the 20. How about that?
And everybody wants to kill Marcus Cannon, but I mean, great
Oh,
job.
man.
Look at he turned that guy right around.
Marcus Cannon is truly one of the great turnaround stories of the New England Patriots in the last couple of years, too. I know this play was all about the Burkhead. And have we said that name before? No, I don't think I've even uttered the word Burke since my mom used to make me watch Designing Women way back in the late 80s. Maybe TMI, who knows? GFY, whatever.
Burkhead, Woodhead,
Marcus
Cannon.
I know. What is it about all the heads?
I don't know, a lot of head.
Marcus Cannon truly may be one of the great turnaround stories for the Patriots because you think back to that AFC Championship a year and a half ago after they lost in Denver. Marcus Cannon was like a swear word in your house. You weren't even allowed to say it. And now the guy gave up next to no pressures all last year, and he's one of the best right tackles in all football. Hashtag the Scarnecchia effect.
He couldn't block Von Miller in 2015, which is apparently that's what
Right.
That's a hard thing to do.
Dude,
so.
he couldn't block me on Twitter. Biggest thing ever. Great rundown. All right, and there was the Electro Breakdown Zone.
Yeah.
All right. As we move merrily along here on Pat's show this week, of course, when you're standing up at the Electro Breakdown Zone long enough, your computer goes to sleep. Okay, so we talked a few minutes ago about how the Patriots looked a little shaky on defense at times Saturday night against the Texans, and this comes on the heels of the news that not only was there significant attrition at the defensive end position in the offseason, Jabal Sheard goes to the Colts, Rob Ninkovich retires. Chris Long defected via free agency to the Eagles. That basically put the Patriots in a difficult position, leaving only acquisition Coney Ealy, who all of us thought we were going to get Super Bowl 50 Coney Ealy with the 3 sacks, the pick, and the fumble.
Yeah, we got JV high school Coney Ealy.
Yeah, no.
So far. He looked better in the game.
We all thought we were going to get we thought we were going to get Bed Bath & Beyond Coney Ealy, and so far it's been Dollar Dreams Coney Ealy, and I would maybe if we can meet in the middle at Home Goods or something like that, or even just like Walmart, Target version Coney Ealy, that'd be fine. But the Patriots, I think, were counting a lot on their first overall draft pick from 2017, third-rounder Derek Rivers, who apparently, and we never get definitive injury information because we know Belichick is really excited to get you that injury report, and he just can't wait, and he's going to tell you everything
he makes that face on your shirt right there.
He literally just like, oh, you.
Tell us about the ACL injury, Coach.
You want an injury report? Oh, I'm afraid these Patriots will still be fully operational. Yeah, apparently Derek Rivers tore his ACL, so that puts the Patriots in an especially, full Price is Right losing horns. Uh-oh, call Ninkovich. People are freaking out, and I think it's a little early for people to freak out about the Patriots possibly having a defensive position of need. So, time to take everyone on their hot takes down in a segment we like to call Hot Takedown.
Hot takedown.
Hot Takedown. Yeah. Yeah. Hot Takedown. Okay, seriously, everyone, stop panicking. It's late August. There's no reason to freak out about the fact that the Patriots might need a defensive end. Look across the defense, Mike. Okay, people are already starting to say, like, oh, well, what are we going to do if they don't have a defensive end? Maybe David Harris, he's going to be great as linebacker in the middle, but, he can't do everything. He's basically a two-down player at this point. He's only going to be on the field so often. He's been in the NFL for 10 years. Can Hightower come back? He was just on the pup. And we got to come up with a new name for the list that you're on when you can't play, because the pup just sounds ridiculous. Pup. Why is everyone freaking out about the fact that you got to wait for Coney Ealy to figure it out? And you got to figure this will be the position they'll be scouring the waiver wire when everyone goes from 90 to 53 in the massive cut down in a week and a half. They'll be looking for like a swing tackle, maybe some special teams help, but especially a defensive end. It's way too early for everybody to freak out and say this is already a position of need and they can see everybody attacking the Patriots at defensive end.
Yeah, well, the Patriots are always going to be a fundamentally sound football team, and they're going to play well. I think if we want to be like, I write Pat's propaganda, but if we're going to get serious
Sweet plug,
about
bro.
Yeah, thank you. Check it out, patspropaganda.com. If we're going to, the problem, I think, is you name off all the guys that they lost.
Right.
Chris Longs, the Jabal Sheards, the Ninkoviches. And where I kind of get a little bit like, how's this going to work out is you had those veteran players that you knew in big games you could kind of count on to come through. How many big sacks has Ninkovich had? How many times did Chris Long come through? In the Super Bowl, he had a couple big plays. So you
got that holding call late in the game. That was
the
like
holding
probably
call,
his biggest contribution.
and Sheard didn't have the greatest year, but he still came through in some key spots. So you look at the number of sacks that the Patriots got. Now, disclaimer, Sacks are never how to rank defenses. I know everybody goes crazy. Oh, you can't talk about sacks. It's about disruption. It's about causing problems.
Right.
But you look last year, they had a really low sack total. I think it was their lowest since 2009.
They only had 34 in the season.
34 in the season, and they lost about 14, 15 of them. So, you wonder, how do they replace those? But I think when you look at early downs, they're going to be fine. It's those all-out pass rush moments where that's where you're going to stick in a Derek Rivers and be like, just go get the quarterback. It's third and 15. Go get him. Mm-hmm. Those are the moments I think you have to watch a little bit. But overall, again, this is going to be an excellently coached team. They tackle well. Mm-hmm. They know the scheme. They play within themselves. The big part is just don't get big deep and tackle. That's what they do. They're
Hold
still
your
gonna
spot.
do that.
Stick to your man.
They'll be fine.
And also, if everybody else, I think the operative phrase is does their job.
Yes.
Stop me if you've heard that before.
One.
If everyone just does their job, then
Perform
maybe
their
you'll be
task.
able to every now and
Perform their
again.
task.
What's that?
Perform their task.
Yeah, well, if you take no days off, then everybody's going to be able to, then everyone's going to do their job, and then you'll be able to allow somebody like Hightower every now and again, if they've got guys like David Harris who can coach the middle of the defense, to come off the edge. And last time I remember Hightower coming off the edge, it was like, oh, Devonta Freeman, you want that big contract? Go looking for it that way. And then there goes Matt Ryan's soul.
Yeah, someone should make a T-shirt.
And the comeback began. I know, somebody should totally make a T-shirt.
Call up Hightower, he's down.
I was down at Gillette Stadium yesterday, and I walked out, and I'm making my way this is how I walk, by the way. I walk like the guy who goes up the hill in that Price is Right game. So I'm just taking my super long cartoon strides, and who pops out of the player's door to go out to the parking lot to get God knows what out of his car? Hightower. Look, and guys, from the way Hightower walked out of the door and walked to his car, he looks great. I'm here to report. All right, you know what? Breaking news. Hightower looked great. He opened the door just fine. He moved. He put his left foot in front of his right one. Great mobility, great lateral movement. Was able to evade a giant potted plant in a bush and get to his really super expensive car. Also, giant human being. I'm 6'2", almost 200 pounds. It's not exactly like a slight breeze would blow me over. I think Hightower would just have to squint at me, and I would just pee a little and fall over. The guy was giant.
And then he was probably going to the car to get his Ninja Turtle socks that he wore.
That's awesome.
Yesterday.
That's awesome. First day back, and he wears Ninja Turtle socks.
Yes.
So the Patriots obviously suffered significant attrition at the defensive end position, and everyone needs to calm down. No, Rob Ninkovich is not walking through that door. Mike Vrabel's not walking through that door. The negativity on social media sucks. Everyone can relax. No further need to panic. It'll be what it'll be. It is what it is, and they'll solve the problem. The real attrition in this offseason took place in the AFC East. We're all joking already that it may as well be hat and T-shirt day, that the Patriots probably could have and have basically locked up the AFC East. Let's take a quick look at who suffered what kind of losses going into the season, because they do have to play each other twice, and I know anything can happen on any given Sunday. Spoiler alert, it's not. The East sucks. In a little segment today, we like to call The North Dismembers.
For sure.
Bum, 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 bum. So, Miami, the Jets, and I even just let's be honest, we mostly just did this just for fun so we could do something with Game of Thrones font. Mostly just so we could talk about the fact that Brady is the Knights King and the NFL is the rest of Westeros. And it's not going to end very well for you. My hacky little joke about this is, this season I wouldn't be surprised if the first audible we hear from Brady is Dracarys. And then at that point, if Brady's like, Blue 38, Dracarys, everyone else should just, defensive coordinators will just be on the sideline just going hold the door, hold the door, hold the door, hold door, hold door, hold door, hold door.
Sad.
Not going to end well for you guys. Sorry.
No, you have the Bills and the Jets basically blew it up. They blew it up. And
their team was the roof at Nakatomi Plaza, and they were just blow the roof.
And for all the Rex, for all the crap that we give Rex, and how dare he say that, it was fun to play against Rex. I got up for those Jets and Bills games, because he talked so much shit. He made it fun, and you like it. And now
Rex is he's a vintage WWE manager. The fact that he would beat his giant war drums and he would pound his chest and give you great sound bites. Rex made it fun. The Rex week was actually fun because you would watch for the press conferences, his goofy sketches. You would try to guess just, how many calories he ate or how many plates of gravy fries he sucked down.
How many lap bands he blew.
It's fun watching the Ryan brothers get in fights at a Margaritaville in Nashville. I'm sorry. I don't know about you guys, but I enjoy watching I enjoy watching 310-pound, long-haired, like bad ZZ Top roadies get in fights with fired coordinators, get in fights with dudes at Margaritaville.
Yeah.
But I digress. I'm going to miss Rex.
Yeah, and it's just gotten worse. I mean, you look at what the Bills have done. I mean, they getting rid of Sammy Watkins, then they got Anquan Bolden. Bolden
lost Robert
retires.
Woods. Robert Woods leaves in free agency, goes to the Rams. They trade Sammy Watkins for EJ Gaines, so they get a cornerback back. They lose Stephen Gilmore to the Patriots. They trade Ronald Darby to the Eagles. They get back Jordan Matthews at receiver. First day in, he has a chest injury. He may not make it for the season opener. Anquan Bolden does what any logical human being should do, spends 2 weeks in Buffalo, and then is like, nah, I'm good, and he retires.
I mean, here's the question.
Who's the number one receiver in Buffalo? Name him.
Well, the question is, could you
Is
make...
it Tay Zunde? I have no idea.
If you could take all the Jets and all the Bills, could you put together a team that would even be competitive? I mean, is there enough between those two rosters?
If I could draft
make it
between the
competitive?
Bills and the Jets, would that team beat the Patriots? No. Absolutely not.
Two NFL franchises, you know,
And look at the Jets. The Jets, at least Buffalo tried in a year when they know, like, okay, we're going to get a bunch of draft picks for 2018, a loaded draft class, and we'll hope that Tom Brady will eventually age, and we'll have a chance in 18, 19, and going forward with the new coach, Sean McDermott, right?
Yeah, correct.
So they have an eye on the future, and they'll just play it out, and Bills Mafia will have their fun this year. But the Jets are just, I mean, I don't even understand how they ran their offseason. You have Brandon Marshall, you just let him go, and the Giants swoop him right up. Decker.
Yeah.
The guy, I mean, I know he was busted up in 16, but he was great in 2015. Sneaky sleeper grab in fantasy, too. I think Eric Decker is going to have a great season with the Titans. And if he plays half as well as his wife says his dong is long, he's going to have a great season.
What?
No, supposedly he's got a Tiger Woods downtown. That's what I've heard. And by the way, did you see the Tiger Woods picture?
No comment. No comment.
No, I mean, Tiger, no need to go to the bag. Why do you even need a caddy? It's right there, dude.
I mean, and then Enunwa gets hurt as well, who's a great player. I mean, they have Powell on the Jets, who's good. I mean, they certainly have some.
The only running back with two first names.
Yeah, Bilal Powell. Who knows?
Bilal.
You look at those two teams. I mean, but they do have some talent still on the defensive side of the ball, and you look at kind of those front fours, and there's some things to be concerned about there. I think.
Sheldon Richardson.
You still got Kyle Williams. God bless him. The guy's been in Buffalo for his 25 years playing. Just terrible season after terrible season. I'd love to see him get into the playoffs maybe once, but then Miami was a team that I was excited to play. And I'm like, wow, maybe these guys will.
There's the
give us a
rivalry this
shot.
year.
This could be something that could be kind of interesting. And then, of course, what happens? Ryan Tannehill, should have probably gotten ACL surgery last year. Didn't. Just kind of running and so now and now we get Jay Cutler. I mean, it's just the gods they give up. They keep giving.
I can just. It's so great. I can just smell the indifference coming off of him already. I love the idea that social media went bananas when Jay Cutler signed with the Dolphins, and it makes sense because he had a great year. He had a season where he threw 2 times as many touchdown passes as interceptions in 2015 with Adam Gase as his offensive coordinator. Now Gase brings him in. But I love the idea, people, when Jay Cutler signed with the Dolphins, somebody said the Jay Cutler symbol was flashed in the sky, and then somebody put up that picture that his wife took of his bare ass on that Mexican balcony, and you're just do you have any, how many people had to look at that picture before they're like, nah, that's good, Kristen, you should probably post a picture of your husband's bare ass on Instagram. They'll never rub that in. But
they still have some talent.
They have talent, but
and they got good coaching. I mean, Gase probably,
You know what Cutler's ceiling is.
Yeah.
And he's a year older. Maybe he's got fresh legs because he didn't play last year. But I mean, he was barely on the field last year. But I don't know. They've got talent at wide receiver. Jay Ajayi's a good running back. But they already lost a cornerback towards lost
ACL.
one cornerback, another ACL. They've got the defensive ends. These are the defensive ends you're looking for. They got defensive ends, but they have no one at safety. They got nobody at linebacker aside from Kiko Alonso. I know.
It's crazy because you see the remnants of all these teams that were trying to construct. They tried to construct them to beat the Patriots. Well, we need these pass rushers. Miami a couple years ago going out and getting what was his name, Mario Williams. It's just been an endless cycle. And I mean, it's such an interesting thing to talk about. It's probably be a longer segment. It's like the chicken or the egg. It's are the Patriots that good? The Patriots, they just keep beating everybody. Then they keep firing their coaches, and then they start over. And it's at what point do you wonder, maybe is somebody just stuck with one coach through being shitty that they could have put together
Right.
that one season where they actually beat the Patriots in Foxborough in a meaningful game, which just, hasn't happened.
Yeah, it's always about like the rule of thumb should be, and these coaches and the impetuous GMs keep forgetting, it shouldn't be about let's build our team to beat the Patriots. It's more like let's just build the team we want to build and compete with them our particular way, because the NFL has been a copycat league for all these years, and that's the thing that the Patriots do that continues to infuriate everyone, is just when they think they've got the blueprint, just when they think Jyn Erso and the other dude from E2 Mama Town Beyond have gotten the battle plans from the Death Star, the Patriots find another way to recreate and reinvent themselves, and now you've got the 19 Deion Lewis, Tom Brady-led, well, and also Tom Brady. The fact that Wilford Brimley secretly keeps Tom Brady in a cocoon in a pool in Florida, and the man is just entirely aged. He looks so freaking good now.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's got the whole team working with Guerrero, too.
Gronk, I know, we talked about that last week. It's exciting. I mean, Gronk's looking skinny again.
I like it.
don't know. We'll see. We'll see how Hightower, we love that. We love that. But
Forecast calls for a 100% chance of the Patriots infuriating everyone all season long, dominating the East. And at this point now in the show, we've got a couple of things we want to share with you all first.
Oh.
But before we get to our mid-show break, it's everyone's favorite. Here we go. Facebook Live question time. All right. Hey, everybody. Great to see you all. Thanks for the shares. I thought Rivers was just a sprain. Ooh, is it actually just a sprain?
Whoa.
Wait, is it a sprain? Did he tear it?
I mean, it hasn't been officially announced as a tear, but, I mean, who knows?
What kind of frosty beverage are you enjoying, Nick? Well, right now I am currently mired in
one?
This is the Framingham special. Our studio has no air conditioning, which is why it looks like I'm on vacation in Lebanon right now. I'm just flop sweating. You think I like broke my mom's favorite vase or something and then couldn't tell. I'm sweating like a Brady kid who knew their parents are coming home, and I just like, Mom always said don't pay ball in the house.
Say your beer here.
All right, I want to watch from the beginning. I've been waiting all week. Keep them coming. Love the show, guys. Everyone share. Thank you guys so much. That's so nice of you guys. Love the shirt. I'll have to get one myself. We're not selling the Pat Show shirts just yet, but you can go to Pat's Propaganda for the greatest shirt ever, the 328 shirt. And this new one, the Emperor, just went on sale at store.townienews.com. The frosty beverage right there, that, my man, is a little bit of the old Everett special. That right there is the Night Shift, local brewery shout out. All right, thank you guys so much. Keep your questions coming. We will gladly pause anytime mid-Pat Show to take your questions. And of course, you can talk to us after the show and all season long for all the inappropriate in-game finalysis and more that you need at Fitzy GFY, at Pat's Propaganda, and everything here, Pat Show, at Pat Show 6. All right, before we get to the home stretch with a couple fun little bits and wrap things up, let's take our two-thirds way through the show. Brady dance. Last week it was the Tom Brady QB dance. This week it's a nod back to the good old days in Brazil when Brady strutted his stuff. Yeah, there we go. All right, everyone, yeah. Just feel it. Ooh, yeah. I don't even know what he's doing there. Wow, I can really feel my swass trickling down my legs now. He is the worst dancer ever. I swear to God. This is something that makes us like love Brady so much. I have no idea what he's doing there.
It's cringeworthy. It's cringeworthy.
Yeah.
It's almost as bad as him acting, but I
don't know if he's that bad at the acting. All right, he's pretty bad.
That felt good. That felt good.
It did feel good. It felt good to
stretch it out.
to let the swass out, the swass and the sweat. Yeah, let's take a quick little sip here. Okay,
so we can talk a little bit about Pat's lines we got coming up Friday night. Again.
So this is the dress up, the preseason game number 3, the dress up. The dress rehearsal.
Dress rehearsal.
Right.
Yeah.
This is where they install the game plans and they pretend to take it seriously even though they're just out there trying not to get hurt and still scoring better ratings than anything else on television.
Patriots and Lions often have played in the preseason. Couple games out there in recent memory where the Pats got their lunch and junk handed to them on a silver platter.
Yeah, the guy sacking Brady and finger in the face afterwards. Remember that one from a few years
ago? Who do you think you are, guy? You're not Tom Brady, all right? Go F yourself.
Season, dude,
so what do you see coming out of the Pats Friday night when they play the Lions?
I see whatever happens getting blown out of proportion a little bit, especially if the result is
You're in touch and tune with the Patriots. Good job.
Again, hopefully nobody gets hurt. That's the biggest thing. No one get hurt.
We haven't seen a lot of action to the wide receivers yet. We've seen very little Brandon Cooks. Do you think the Pats are going to continue to treat Cooks like he's already seen more of the field than 2007 Randy Moss did. But do you keep Cooks in a bottle just so you don't show anyone what you're going to do with them?
You didn't see much of him. I think the big secret with Brandon Cooks is going to be everyone's like, he's going to be a deep threat. You know, everyone, that deep threat.
We need a deep threat. We need a cover corner, and we need a friggin' deep threat so they can stretch the field, and Tommy's got to work on his long ball.
But, you know, you go back to last year, and Gronk, before he got hurt, is leading the leagues in yards per catch. Then he gets hurt. Hogan ends up leading the league in yards per catch.
Yeah, sneaky good deep threat last year,
so,
Hogan.
And all these like, well, Brady, you can't throw the deep ball. You know, so it's like they didn't really need that per se. But I think the thing that people aren't really talking about with Cooks is that they're going to get him the ball underneath. They're going to do those little gadget plays. You know, of course, they're going to have him just run deep, and then Edelman and the running backs are going to be open all day. But I think what the secret stuff they're going to kind of do with him, what they did a little bit in New Orleans, was getting him the ball underneath, get him in space, and let him run. You know, run with the ball, Brennan.
He can be a deep threat, and he can definitely stretch the field. And when the Patriots employ him in that capacity, now you got the ankle breakers running the 7 ins and the 11 outs, and then you got the entire route tree open to you, and then you possibly even have, you know, Gronk up the seam and the scat backs all over. It's just like
that's what you do. I mean, what do you do if you're a safety and you look and you've got Cooks there, you got Gronk up the seam, and you got Hogan on the outside? And I mean, you can't play cover one. You got to have guys at both ends, but you've also, you know, so it's just it's a nightmare if you're a defensive coordinator going against the Patriots.
If I'm a safety playing the Patriots, I do what any good American or any proper masshole does. I blame my problems on someone else. I sit down and I have a cold frosty beverage because there's no way I'm going to figure that out. It's an impossible enigma code to crack.
Yeah.
I love the idea though of using Brandon Cooks underneath and seeing him basically like take a quick little slant or like a little dump off and then just like
you run fast,
run to the end. Yeah, exactly. Like run to the end zone like he knows he's got to get to the front door, otherwise supper's gone. Like he is shockingly fast.
Yeah.
Didn't he have? Well, I know he had over 1,000 yards each of his first 3 years, but didn't he have 315 catches his first 3 years in New Orleans?
Probably.
I mean, stats and research. Linda in stats and research, can you get on that? Thanks so much. That would be great.
I think that was totally wrong.
Nobody's telling me in my ear.
Good job, sweetheart.
What happened? I think defensively, though, on the other side of the ball, I think you just like to see tackling. You want to see better tackling. It's something that takes a season. I mean, you know, this looks
like something out of like, this looks like something GOT. The Lions are only this scary right now as like a meme or like something that would be draped on the side of a castle wall, but they don't have a lot to offer at running back. The wide receiving core has been stripped down a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, they can. I think it'll be a nice game if the Patriots stretch out the offense just a little bit more, just so it's like, oh, okay, we're good, we're ready for September 7th.
You want reassurance. You want that reassurance.
And I want to see the offensive line, because you got guys like Ziggy Ansah that can get after the quarterback. Have a good game from the tackles. Don't any of the guards get blown up. Keep Tommy on his feet the whole game.
Yes, please.
That's all I want to see. Just the bare basics, and have Gostkowski, you know, drop the ball at the 2, maybe make a couple field goals.
Yeah. I mean, it's just about fundamentals, and I'm not even like worried about the lines. It's about the Patriots. Tackle well, you know, play within the scheme. Just kind of show. I mean, one guy I do want to mention is Harvey Langi. Langi. I can't keep it straight. People yell at me I write Langy and it's Longy, or I say it Longy.
Who is this guy, by the way? Is this the
undrafted guy?
Is he defensive Austin Carr? Because everyone's freaked and geeked about the fact that Austin Carr went undrafted and looks good on the offense.
They played him a ton, and you know the rumor was that they told him that they were going to pay him first round money, or they were going to draft him in the first round, which sounds crazy. You know, I don't know who said that.
And yet he went undrafted.
And that he went undrafted, and they gave him a good chunk of money.
You got to stop following at Fake Ernie Adams, because that's some Pat's propaganda right there, buddy.
I love Ernie Adams, but he's one guy that they played a ton. Outside linebacker guy. It's interesting because he's smaller, and so you worry about him kind of being at the point of attack, but at the same time, he's one of those real active hand guys, and he's got those long arms that he's moving around, and he just seems to find his way into plays, which, I mean, not that I'm comparing him to Teddy Bruschi, but when you look at a player who just kind of has a nose for the ball and maybe doesn't quite have the size, but just seems to get into plays, he seems like one of those guys, and I expect we'll see him play a ton of snaps, and again, hopefully he can continue to progress, because he had a couple times where over-pursuing. Belichick always says worst place you want to be is behind the quarterback. We saw that in one play where he just ran around. Go ahead. You got a question here?
Yeah, just like we were talking about a second ago. We got a question. Thank you, Justin Shaw, for popping this to us. Hey, yeah, Justin. And I also always like guys that have last names that are similar to places that I go grocery shopping when I can't afford Whole Foods. Whole Foods Soul, Shaw's budget. Hey guys, how do you think the ball is going to get distributed this year in the run-pass sense? I read an NFL article that said the Patriots set around 65-35 in favor of pass when Brady returned. Do you think they sit around that number with the new players and the loss of the old ones. Thanks. Pats fan living in Buffalo. Thoughts and prayers. Stay safe, okay? Bills Mafia is a savage one at that. 65-35.
It's my understanding there'd be no math on Pat's show, so.
Right. No talking politics and no math on Pat's show. A 2/3 pass, 1/3 run offense seems a little heavy. I mean, I get it. I think Tom Brady is a second-round draft pick in fantasy this year, and I think he can go back to the 40-touchdown plateau. But I think the Pats will be better served if it's like 55-45, just because you can like
that adds up to 100.
Relatively, yeah. I'm still me smart, me good. Yeah. Numbers good.
Calculator. I mean, sure.
Yo,
I don't
soy
know. I mean,
genius.
it's such a game plan offense, and I mean,
Right.
they can do what they want. You know, they can look at, and it's more a question of what does the defense want to do? What does the defense want to take away? If they're going to come out and play, I mean, you're probably going into, if you're playing the Patriots, you're a defensive coordinator, you're probably going to go in and you're going to play multiple defensive backs because you just don't want to get beat deep, and you're going to say, all right, Patriots, beat us running the ball, which still is pretty scary when you look at what they have. But I think it's going to be much more of a reactive thing and not, we're going into the season and we're going to run it this much and we're going to pass it this much. It's more about how do teams want to play us. And whatever you want to do, whatever you want to try to take away, we're going to do the other thing.
Just look back at the last 3 games the Patriots played in 2016. Against the Texans, nothing was working with the receivers and up the gut because that defensive line was just crushing the O-line and getting to Brady too early. Deion Lewis became the focal point. The offense opened up, and they got a win that, if Brock Osweiler wasn't too busy trying to stick his own head up his rectum, may actually have turned into a shocking playoff loss. Then you go against Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh is always afraid to press the Patriots, so they spread the ball around freely. The flea flicker to Hogan.
Jesus. I mean, how many times have they gotten the Steelers on a deep pass up the middle? It's like you can go right back through every famous Patriots-Steelers game, and there's always just Deion Branch catching a post down.
And I love how the Steelers spend the entire offseason talking about, like, no, this year, no, this is the year we're going to be ready for their ass. I know we said last year we're going to be ready for their ass. No, this year we're going to Facebook Live, we're going to be ready for their ass. Right. No, I love, the Steelers' tears are like good barbecue sauce. It goes good with everything. And then in the Super Bowl, when nothing was working and they tired Atlanta out by doing 93 plays to 46 overall, they couldn't cover anybody. And they used their conditioning and the fitness and the versatility of their receivers to their advantage in the greatest Super Bowl comeback of all time. I remember Martellus Bennett said after the parade when people were talking about, how'd you guys do it? How did it feel to be a part of that comeback? He said, late in that first week of Super Bowl prep, it was like Thursday, and they were out running hills. And he said aloud, he's like, man, it's freezing cold, it's January, why the F are we out here running hills? And about a week and a half later, it bore out why they were running hills, because they were the better team, they were the fitter team. And that's, again, speaks to what you were talking about, the game plan versatility, being able to be what they need to be. The Patriots, they're Arya Stark. They're no one, and they can morph into whatever you need them to do to kill.
Right, and that's what I mean. It also like feeds, not to get too off point here, but it also feeds into their offense where they had so many option routes, which is how things after the play, the play isn't determined until after the ball is snapped. How do you defend that? How do you defend a guy who's going to run at you, see what you do, and then run the other way? And Brady, that's why they're so good. That's why the offense is hard to pick up, but they don't have ego. They do whatever you don't want them to do. They're going to ram it down your throat.
Okay, Mike, quick question for you before we get to our last 2 little bits and wrap it up. From Chris Waters. Always What's up, Chris? Chris Waters. Yeah. Dirty Waters there, kid. I always like talking to somebody who's got the same last name as one of my favorite rockers. That's unnecessary now. Shut up and move on. Everyone's talking about all of our strengths. Mike, do you think we have any weaknesses? And if we do, what are they? Perhaps it's health in the linebacking core. Thanks, Chris.
Sure. I think the place that I would attack the Patriots if I was an opposing defensive coordinator is I would run the ball at them constantly and attack those unproven defensive ends and outside linebackers. That's all the formula. You keep Brady off the field. You keep the clock running.
Right.
You can
stretch.
Execute.
Run against the edges.
Stretch.
And then
you want to run and challenge
the
athleticism of their linebackers, because I think if there's one place where they're kind of not quite like, you look at like Shea McClellan, Freeney. I don't even know if he's going to make.
Oh, Shea McClellan still plays for the Pats. I totally forgot that.
Those guys don't
totally forgot that.
They're not making you scared. You're not looking at Shea McClellan like Mike Vrabel and being like, oh shit, we got to deal with Shea McClellan.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah, what offensive coordinator is like, I'll tell you what, McIntyre, I ain't getting any sleep this week because I can't figure out what the freak to do about Shea McClellan.
So I think if you look across and you see Dietrich Wise and Harvey Lange,
I think I just blew our chances of getting Shea McClellan on the show.
Dude, on my blog, I have a long
Hey, he blocked that kick last year, which was
He did.
great.
He had that one kick block last year,
did.
and that was a great play for a guy that you
Right.
gave 3 years and multi-million-dollar contract to. But that would be the area that I would attack.
Sure.
But still, it's like you say, it all sounds great. You got to play a 60-minute game. You can't turn the ball over.
Right.
And the Patriots are never dead until the clock hits 0. So that's the game you got to play to beat them.
And also the defensive line. I know you got Uncle Phil, Alan Branch, who's just a monster, and you got Vincent Valentine, who's actually turning out to be pretty good. Vincent Valentine, double V. He looks good. And Malcolm Brown's good, and this Randall guy looks pretty solid.
The guy guy. He's one of my favorites.
Dude,
the guy had a
This
sack.
guy's great.
He's a weird one. We keep getting
Not a lot of depth there on the defensive line, too. And things could get ugly if teams start trying to come at the Patriots, testing out the linebacker strength and the defensive ends as well. Speaking of ugly, nice segue, Nick. Let's make our way to the ugliest thing everybody saw in all of Patriots Nation over the last week and a half. Maybe you guys saw this. The Tom Brady wax. Did anyone see this? The Dreamland Tom Brady wax statue? Yeah, Dreamland. More like Nightmare City. So supposedly an artist was commissioned, and I have no idea why they went and commissioned an artist at the Carroll School for the Blind in Newton. That does not look like Tom Brady. That looks like me. That looks more like me. That looks.
It's like the creepy face that's peeking through your window. Like you would expect to you're look and it's just.
Yeah, look at that. Look at this face. It's like. Hey guys, are there any extra wings? Like that's the face you make. Like, oh, sorry, the store was closed. I didn't get a chance to pick up any beer.
It's like Peeping Tom. It's the Peeping Tom wax spray.
That's awful. That looks nothing like Tom Brady at all. That looks like. I mean, I just don't understand why nobody can get Tom Brady right.
It's hard to capture his beauty.
But it's the same. Yes, I know. But he's the living David. Like you look at him, he's so freaking beautiful. He might have taken 8 years to carve in an Italian yard. He's just so beautiful. You want to look at him and cry. Other attempts to sort of visualize and realize Tom Brady have also not gone so well before. Of course, there's the world famous Zom Brady, the courtroom sketch. I know. Right there, I know. Zom Brady, hey, hey. Why did I dip into the cranberries? I don't know. I love Dolores O'Riordan. What can I say? Zom Brady is so amazing to me because basically what that one courtroom artist was able to do was basically physically manifest how all of us felt about Deflategate in just one picture. And by the way, this guy is creepy AF. Who is this guy? That guy got kicked out of his house 10 days ago. This guy has nowhere to go. This guy's that's a Jets fan. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's a Jets fan right there. The guy behind him. I think we kind of figured out though who's the person who was hired to do the Brady courtroom sketch and the Brady Dreamland wax statue. I don't know if anyone ever saw before this Mexican Jesus relief. So apparently there's a church in Mexico, and this woman said she saw this beautiful painting of Jesus and said, it needs restoration. I know what I'll do. I'll fix it. That's exactly what Twitter accounts for, I fixed it. That's the perfect. Nailed it. Yeah.
Nailed it.
This week in hashtag nailed it. Just like with the Brady Dreamland Wax and the Courtroom Brady. And of course, the people at the Dreamland Wax Museum in Nightmare City, wherever the hell this is in Massachusetts, didn't just stop with Tom Brady. Yesterday, they revealed their latest homage to a Boston sports legend, Paul Pierce. Let's go full. Look at that! What is that, Paul Pierce? That's Paul Pierce if he worked for Stringer Bell in The Wire. That's like Paul Pierce in 1970. He was like, man, I ran out of cools. You got a new. Look at it. That's the guy that cooks ribs for Frank Underwood on House of Cards. That's not Paul Pierce. It's nothing. Here's the truth. That sucks. That's a shitty wax statue.
It's gross.
Isn't that terrible? I mean, I almost think at this point
do
now.
Your job.
Yeah,
do
exactly. Do your job.
Do your job.
Yeah. I think at this point now they're just doing it just so they'll get the pub when it's just
Look how terrible it is.
Right.
Didn't we kill it?
We nailed it, right? Now, you know what? And exactly. And guess what? It worked. And now I can't wait to go to the Dreamland Wax Museum just so I can see terrible Brady and Paul Pierce. Good God.
You're never.
All right. So last week we tried to end episode 1
with a tribute to the ultimate of football memes, the 328, the scoreboard from the Super Bowl, what Mike made famous with the T-shirt that everyone owns and if doesn't own needs. And that scoreboard, 328, the Patriots down 28-3 with 2 minutes left in the third quarter of Super Bowl 51, isn't just a great visual. It isn't, it isn't just, a cool graphic.
There it is.
It's a meme. It's a mantra. It's everything. It's basically like if Free Brady was the Roll Tide of Patriots Nation for a couple of years. Now you can just say, if somebody's having a bad day, you can just say to somebody like, well, it was 28-3 in the third quarter. It happened to me this week. I was out running the Falmouth Road Race. Wow, there's a little charity fun run, humble brag. And sure, I saw lots of people out there, like the guy in the marathon holding the sign, and there was lots of people wearing your shirt. And then at the 6-mile marker, it's 85 degrees. Everyone is just struggling and sweating. And there's like classic Patriots tailgater, dude who's definitely got like a Ford pickup with like Pat's racing stripes on it. And he's out there like wearing all nylon at the 6-mile marker, sweating. And he's just clapping, going like, let's go, let's go. It's 28-3, let's go, let's go. And everyone literally smiled and picked it up. And there was a significant uptick in everyone's gait for like at least 50 yards until a couple people passed out, threw up in Falmouth Heights, or just reached desperately, reached like feebly for their last Gatorade and just shuffle-footed their way home. It's everything. So the great people here at Media Boss, our home, our sweaty home, sweaty-ass studio and production company, put together this awesome little montage that we're going to be sharing with you guys here and, of course, later on Instagram and beyond about all of the great memes and visuals that have been 328 this year. Let's take a look. Oh, there it is. It's coming to you. Look at it. There it is. At one point, it was 28-3, and all hope was lost, just like the music. And then the comeback victory happened. There's the shirt, and then it became a flag. And then people decided to put it on mugs to remind themselves that no comeback is possible. And then this guy who made the job had it was wearing. And then it became license plates. And then that family went down the launch room and held it up and pimped out their shirt. And then there's that guy. People went to Disneyland with it, Mike. There's that guy with the trophy. That's awesome. There's, of course, the famous marathon sign guy at the Boston Marathon 2017. Oh, that cake tastes love. Humble pie.
Hey, look at that guy.
Hey, that guy sucks. And then, of course,
Celtic playoff game. That's a big one. That's a big moment right there.
yep. I remember.
Proud.
Yep. No, you know what? Actually, somebody told him that Danny Ainge was going to trade Isaiah Thomas for Kyrie Irving, and that's why he was celebrating.
The end.
And it became something so spectacular. And that was a roundup of the best 28-3s. But here's the awesome thing: it keeps going.
Yeah.
We keep getting submissions and finding them all over social media. Let's take a look at a couple of our other favorites here. This one is awesome. The fact that somebody saw in San Francisco.
Yep. Yeah.
There was like 2 fireboxes, and someone's like, "Oh, I see the blue and the red. This would be perfect."
Amazing they thought of it right there. I don't know, but
Wait, did someone see it, go home, and be like, "Oh, dude, you still got that like that white wax pencil at your house?" Yeah, do I have that white wax pencil?
like nobody stopped.
Or did somebody like make a mad dash to a Staples, like, "I gotta do this"?
Maybe he just had paint with him and he's just going around making them all over the city.
It's awesome.
That's what I like to believe.
And then this next one. It was the graduation cap in 2017. Colleges all over the world, New England. You got the final up there. They went 34-28. That's the 328 down there, famous. And I like the little goat flourish right there too. The little goat. It's nice too.
There you
That's
go.
good stuff.
Listen,
I'll drop some huge words on here extemporaneously. So BTFU, back the frig up. All right, guy.
this one, Syrian border.
The Syrian border. The Atlanta Falcons blew a 28-3 lead. That's someone wrote in the only good thing to come out of Syria in 2017. Unbelievable. And this happened the other day. Somebody put that. Somebody photoshopped that into the side of Stone Mountain in Georgia, which is just, that is absolutely savage. You know what? But it would be pretty awesome. And then, of course, the eclipse happened this week and breathed even more life into the meme. Yeah. That's what Falcons fans saw. That's what everyone saw when they looked up at the sun. That's no moon. And this was the best.
That's a good one, yeah. Right there. Tom Brady is the moon here. He just
28-3 becomes 28-34 in just a little less than an hour's time, right?
Crazy.
It's about how long it took, which makes the eclipse the perfect little meme bait. All right, and that there, my friends, is another hot, sweaty, exciting preseason episode of Pat Show! I really appreciate you guys tuning in with us. Thanks for watching live. If you guys didn't get a chance to, please watch it again on Facebook. Share it with your friends. Give us a follow, facebook.com/PatsShow6. We're also on Twitter and the Instagram, the IG, dude. We're all over the faces and the Instas and the MyBooks and everything at PatsShow6. For any questions you have about the Patriots football or anything Pat Show related and more, hit up Mikey D at Pat's Propaganda. And you can always give a shout to your old pal Fitzy at FitzyGFY. Big shout out and props and hip hops and hoorays to all of our friends here, Paul, Ian, Aaron, and everyone at Media Boss. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully one day soon we'll get a sponsor so I can buy a giant block of ice and then put a fan behind it and then just like do like the original air conditioning, because my God, I've dehydrated like I fought Marvin Hagler for 12 rounds during the show. But I'll do it for you people. We'll be back next week
Monday.
with one more cut-down episode before we kick off with our first official episode, Tuesday, September 5th, gearing up for, of course, the kickoff game Thursday night, Pats Chiefs from Clown Nose Stadium. Until then, we'd like to leave you with this week's moment of football zen. Here it is, Tom Brady Boomerang from his Instagram. Remember, folks, come on, when you got to bring that high heat on Pat's Show, there are no days off. This is terrifying. That is what I see when I close my eyes. That's why Boomerang is awesome, and that's why Instagram's awesome. And he looks really thin, doesn't he? It's insane.
Thanks.
There it is. Thanks for watching Pat Show, everyone. See you next week. Woo!